Good evening. Thank you all for finding time and joining with us for the F&B Talks by the Restaurant Times. I am Nikunj from the events team of Restaurant Times. Before we start, here's a very quick introduction of what F&B Talks is all about. Well, F&B Talks by the Restaurant Times is a knowledge series through which we are bringing together people who seek a deeper understanding of the worlds of restaurant. Our aim is to build a free knowledge base on various aspects of running a restaurant business. Today we have with us Mr. Rahul Tirumala Pragata, founder of Makers of Milkshake. When Rahul was in the UK for his MBA, he had tasted one of his kind milkshake and was keen to replicate the same taste in his hometown Hyderabad. Soon after returning from the UK, the entrepreneurial bug hit him and he decided to start a milkshake outlet. Initially, he was criticized by many for his business idea, but he was determined to succeed. He decided to take the plunge, and after a rigorous research for over a year, he established the first Makers of Milkshake drive-in outlet in Bangalore on a highway. The food startup today, over the last 7 years, is now spread across 75 stores and is now even operating in the UAE and the US. The chain is highly successful in the southern India with outlets in cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, and Vizag, and it operates purely on a franchise model. Makers of Milkshake is very well known for its product differentiation and its standardization with the base milkshake that it creates, on top of which it adds different flavors to its milkshakes. And all of this success is purely bootstrapped. Welcome to FNB Talks, Rahul. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, let's get going. We'll keep this session focused on getting as many insights from you as possible in this next 1 hour. I would request all attendees to keep putting their questions in the chat section so that we can pick up during the session. Rahul, the first question is, how did you go about starting Makers of Milkshake? Take us through the journey of how did it all start in 2013?
Thank you, Nikunj, for this good intro. I started Makers of Milkshakes. We started Makers of Milkshakes in 2013. After finishing my graduation, I thought of starting some business, but I was stuck. Where and what type of business should I start? But I would like to start some business, but I don't know what to start. So then I've been to London for doing my post graduation. So that I thought if I go there, I'll be getting international exposure. So with that exposure, it would be helpful for me to start something in India, and it would be helpful for me to expand my business in future, is what I thought. And I've been to London for doing my MBA. So one day I've been to one of the American diner there. I've tasted a shake. So I thought, why shouldn't this be a business idea? And immediately, one of my cousins was beside me. I told him that I'm going to start something like this in India. Then he laughed at me. He told, man, are you crazy? You just had a shake and you're saying that you're going to start something like this. So I said, no, because as this type of shakes are not there in India, people doesn't know about it. But if we start something like this in India, it's definitely going to work, because when compared to the climatic conditions of India and UK, so our Indian temperatures are little bit higher than UK. We have a more heat type of temperatures over here in India. There's nothing wrong in giving a try, right? So I told him that I'll do some R&D over here. So after going back to India, I'm going to start something like that. And I need your help, is what I asked him, because he's from the hotel. Job is anytime I can do, but at least 1 year I would like to give a try, is what I told to my parents and my family, and I convinced them. So after coming back to India, I've done 6 months of R&D again. So we were in search of places those days. So wherever I used to go, all the landlords used to say, no, we are not ready to give the place for milkshake joints, because milkshakes or juice parlors, because we don't want to get down our reputation of that place, is what they used to say. Then we've been to one of the restaurant which is on Bangalore highway for lunch. So I've seen a place which is vacant there. I spoke to the owner. I told that, sir, we would like to start a milkshake place at your restaurant, is what I told. He said, okay. Coming to the name, firstly, we thought of starting with the name called Icebreakers, because we use a lot of ice cream and milk and blend and make our shakes. So I thought of naming it as Icebreaker. So I immediately called my brother. I told him that I would like to name my brand as a Icebreaker, is what I told. He said, no, man, because name itself has a negative impact in it. It has a break in it. So try something positive, is what he said. Mom's love is the purest form of love, and that is the first positivity everyone can feel, Right. So I thought, let's name it as Mom. And brands like McDonald's, Marks and Spencers, all these names which started with them also have been a very successful brands. And mom's love is the purest form of love, and that itself is a positivity, is what I felt.
Right.
So we thought of naming it as MOM, but what should we elaborate it as?
Hmm.
So then within 5 minutes, we have decided the one name we can name it as milkshakes. And what are we doing? We're making milkshakes. So maybe let's name it as Make His Own Milkshakes is what we felt. And we fixed that name as our brand name. Before starting our this thing, first outlet on Bangalore Highway, we have done a lot of events because, everywhere, wherever we used to go, everyone used to say, milkshakes, no, it will not run in India because milkshakes are part of every restaurant's menu. Milkshakes are part of every juice parlor's menu. So coming exclusively with milkshakes doesn't make sense and it's not going to work, is what people used to say.
Right.
So at that particular time, we were also a little bit, hesitant. I mean, like we that doubt came into our mind, like, if we invest money and if it doesn't work well, that is going to be a problem. Let's do events, is what we felt. So events is like, we used to put stalls in events, and we used to get very good response. So for 6 months we have done events, and we used to get a very good response. Then we thought of starting outlet. Then 6 months of struggle for finding out places. Then our first outlet we started on Bangalore Highway. And coming to the phase, going back, R&D phase, after coming back to India, we have done 6 months of R&D. Why I'm telling this? Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm telling you this point.
Yeah.
So I've done 6 months of R&D in UK, but after coming back to India, my R&D did not work because, the costing of the product, if I use the imported ingredients and make a product, that doesn't make sense for me because the ingredient cost itself used to cost me somewhere around 300 or 400 those days. So I have to sell a milkshake for 400 or 500. That doesn't make sense. People will not buy a shake for 400 or 500 before 7 years. Story is what I say. So I thought, oh, that is not going to work. Then what should I do? So I've done R&D with the Indian ingredients, whatever is available in Indian market, with a good margins, and based on the Indian taste, we have customized our product. We have done 6 more months of R&D, and we created a menu in such a way that it would be so that all the Indians will love. In that way, we have customized our menu, and the costing wise also, which would be favorable to us, is what we thought. So we should not compromise in the quality. So as a primary objective in food industry, everyone should put this in mind. So without compromising the quality, so by putting the costing in mind, we have done 6 months of R&D in India, and we framed up a menu. So after that, this name came up, and then this old story of this rental cutting happened. And after that, we have done a hell lot of events for that 6 months. We got confidence that this product is going to run, because if 1,000 people used to come to the event, if you put 2-3 flavors, everyone used to taste at least 2 or 3. I mean, like two flavors each. So that itself gave us a positive boost that it's going to work and this is going to be a successful product, is what came into our mind. So if 1,000 people used to come to the event, at least 2 to 3,000 glasses used to be sold. So that gave us a positive boost. So we thought, yes, this is a product which is going to rock. And we have started our first branch in Bangalore Highway. And in Bangalore, on that particular highway, because as we struggled a lot to find a place in Hyderabad, so we found a place on Bangalore Highway. And that was a huge hit. Like, within 3-4 months, franchising requests came to our way. So CBIT is one of the good college in Hyderabad. So students from that college approached us for franchise. And our first branch in Hyderabad was a franchise outlet. We gave it for franchise. The place where we got a rejection for giving a place for putting up a stall in that same city, we have started our first franchise outlet, and now we are having 50 plus outlets in Hyderabad. And
You've also expanded globally, I think, now
yes,
US,
yes.
Right.
US also, there's a story behind my journey.
Right.
Like, I've applied for US visa thrice. So as a student, and I got rejected. And I have applied for US visa for as a visitor. Then even that got rejected. So later on, I got a proposal for the opening of Makers of Milkshakes outlet in USA, California. So for that, based on that reason, I went to this thing, US embassy for getting a US visa for a business visa, this thing, and it
Right.
got approved. So everything
Right.
happens for a reason, is what I feel like.
Absolutely.
If you get negative results, also sometimes you have to take it positive. Something better might be waiting for us. So is what I felt after getting my
Mm.
US visa for a business thing. So
Correct.
if I
Correct.
have got my student visa, I would have done some job there, but I never
Mm.
used to start some business. So because of that rejection only, I've started Makers on Milkshakes, and I expanded to there, is what I felt. After
True.
getting
True.
my business visa, is what I felt. So that is, and now coming to Makers on Milkshakes, yes, in the same city where we got rejection for identifying one place, we are having 50 locations in Hyderabad, and we expanded globally, and now we have a store in Dubai. We have two stores in USA, and we are there in almost all the cities in Andhra, and now we are expanding into Bangalore and Chennai. Slowly, we are planning to expand to North as well.
Got it.
So
And
that is the journey of Makers on Milkshakes. Yeah.
that's I mean, your passion speaks for itself, and I
Hmm.
think you've just kind of pumped up the energy of this entire group that we all are listening, and
Hmm.
I think I'm personally very inspired by your journey,
My
and
pleasure.
the passion by which you have actually narrated the entire journey. It's really it's super high on energy. I think it's very infectious, but it can actually boost somebody to to go out and get it done.
Hmm.
So I'm sure that people who are planning to get into the business, or planning to start off a restaurant outlet, especially after a time where we have seen such a negative impact in the industry. Now I think
Hmm.
2021 is something that people are actually looking forward to, and I'm
Hmm.
sure your journey, your story would be very inspirational for all of them. So Rahul, also help us understand that while milkshake category is extremely competitive, today, Makers of Milkshake, of course, has been able to establish its brand over the last 6 to 7 years, and we have put a lot of hard work in doing that. But I'm sure that there are a lot of other players in international market as well, in the same category. So how do you differentiate your brand from such a competitive space that you operate into?
So usually, as we are into food industry, the main objective is like customers reviews makes a lot of difference in our particular industry, because word of mouth is the main thing which gives a big impact in this particular industry. So I tell all my franchise owners, all my staff, that every customer who is walking into the store, he should be happy before leaving the store. Like, talk to the customers, and whatever way they want, customize the shakes in that particular way, because the base which we use is a neutral base of ice cream. So is that it's our USP of our Makers of Milkshakes. So to that base, whatever flavor we add, that particular flavor gets elevated. Like, let's say, usually what people does is, like, if you order a chocolate variant of shake, like, Oreo, Kit Kat, or whatever it is. So they use a chocolate base of ice cream, and they add this Kit Kat, Oreo, and blend and give it to the customers. So what happens is, like, they feel that chocolatey taste in it. But what we do is, like, we use a neutral base of ice cream for all our variants of shakes. So whatever, if you like Oreo, we add Oreo to the base and blend it and give it as a Oreo shake to the customer. If you like the flavor, so you'll definitely like that particular milkshake, is what we feel. So, and that worked out for us. So almost all the customer, whoever have Makers on Milkshakes, 90 to 95% of the customers will be satisfied, and they'll be leaving the stores. And one more thing, what I have done is, like, on every menu, on every cover of ours, so I use only one number. That number is printed on all those menus and covers. So what happens is, like, for every suggestion or complaints or inquiries, please do contact to this number, is what we mention on our this thing. So we make sure that customer relation is maintained in a proper way, and we make sure that customer satisfaction is our utmost priority, is what we put as our thumb rule. And one good example I'll tell you, like, one day in the starting days, we got a call from one of the customer during 2 o'clock, I guess. Customer called us and said that, I've been waiting, I've ordered a milkshake through online platform. I don't want to mention that particular online platform name. So they have ordered through one of the online platform. So customer was waiting somewhere around 12 or 12:30 in the night, after coming back from his work. So he thought of having a shake, and he has ordered from one of the online platform. So he called me after
1:30, I guess. So he called me and he said that I ordered a shake from your outlet, but I'm not get it till now. But 1 o'clock is our closing time. So I told that, sir, this is a mistake of our online platform, but still, you are our customer. I don't want you to be get disappointed. So I spoke to one of my staff. We opened that store. We have made a shake. I personally went and gave delivered that particular shake to the customer, and he's our regular customer since our starting days. So that is how we maintain the customer satisfaction, and that helped us to grow to this position. Is what I feel.
Wonderful. Mukul is actually asking us that, do you have any store in North India side, or do you have any plans to venture into any of the
Yes,
states?
definitely. We have that particular plan. We are planning to expand to North. Not immediately, but definitely we are looking to expand into North because that North has a lot of potential for these type of products. So and North people definitely love products which are related to milk. So I think that is a market where which we have to definitely look to explore, and we are
Correct.
ready to explore. We are waiting for opportunities.
Absolutely. North Indians do have a sweet tooth, and I can actually
Yes,
relate to
yes.
it. I'm based out of Delhi, and we love these these kind of
Yeah,
dishes
yeah,
and
yeah.
milkshakes. I would
Mhm.
look forward to actually have to see
Definitely
milk
not.
sold in North India.
In near future, we are going to start making some milkshakes in North. Yeah.
Right. So now I think we'll come to the second part. Would love to understand,
Mm.
how 2020 was for the brand, especially, COVID,
Mm.
which we all understand that, has been extremely impactful on the business. What was the kind of impact that you saw? Especially, we noticed that a lot of online ordering picked up during that time. So how did
Mhm.
makers of milkshake respond to COVID, and what were the strategies that you adopted to actually, maneuver your business in the new normal?
So actually, before COVID, we used to promote our brand as a premium exclusive milkshake brand is what we used to promote. So later on, post COVID, because as the business changes, I mean, like as the situations around us changes, we have to change our tweak our business model. Is what I strongly believe in. So what I have done is like as our company. So what we have done is like during COVID time, people are a little bit hesitant of having milkshakes, coming to the stores and grabbing a milkshake because there's a lot of our staff should open our bulks, add ice cream flavor and blend it and give it to the customer. So they used to be a little bit hesitant, and they're they used to miss milkshakes and ice creams those days. So what we have done is like we tweaked our model. We came out of that particular tagline stating that exclusive milkshake brand to so we have added ice cream product range to our menu, so that no need of extra infrastructure. As we are having a factory, we used to produce ice cream over there. So that particular ice cream we used to store in our freezers, and no need of extra investment need to be put into the stores is what we felt. So it would be easy for our to push to our franchise owners is also what we felt. And we have started ice creams in a glass jars. So in that glass jars, it will be filled in our factory. It directly comes to the store, so customer can directly grab it and they can wash under their tap, and they can directly have is what we promoted during COVID, and that did definitely worked with us. And even our franchise owners were very happy with that particular move, and it did work for Makers and Milkshakes.
Right. And are you still, focusing on building your online ordering business as well? Like, from
Yes, before COVID also, we were doing somewhere around 40% online and 60% in-store business used to be there. But now post COVID, what happened was online business picked up, and in-store business is a little bit slow. But now, as of now, 70% is online and 30% is store. So I think it's going to
right.
come normal because online platforms charges 25 to 30% goes for
Right.
the online. So and we have to do promotions and all these things are there. But definitely online platforms also helped us during this pandemic, because without that though it would be tough for all the food industry people, is what I feel.
Hmm.
So
And
but
mostly
it should
online.
be like 40 and 60 would be the good ratio for online and store.
Right. So when you say online, it also includes the aggregators. I mean,
Yes,
that's
yes, yes,
mostly
yes.
in that. Perfect. That actually helps, Rahul. Rahul,
Mhm.
we'd also be interested to understand that, that Makers of Milkshake has been able to establish itself on a very strong franchise business model.
Mhm.
So if you can help us understand, how does the franchising model actually works for makers of milkshake, and if one has to explore the franchising with makers of milkshake, how does one go about that?
Usually what we do is like franchise fee is the amount which directly comes to, usually I'll explain you the process. What happens is like they'll be sending us a request through WhatsApp or directly through the mail. So we'll be sending them the proposal. Based on the proposal, they'll get back to us. So they'll be sending us the location, so we'll be having a look at that particular location. If it is impacting any existing store, we're not going to say yes for that particular store. So if it is not impacting any other existing store, then will be doing our survey. If that particular location have potential, then definitely we are going to look into it. But what worked for Makers of Milkshakes to grow in this particular franchising thing is like, I strongly believe in grow, let grow is what I strongly believe. Like, franchising, someone is investing money means like, they are also expecting returns in that particular business. So I'll be very flexible with the franchise owners. So if someone comes with some, because I know the headache, because we have run a few stores, like, other brands, when compared to other brands, Makers of Milkshakes is a franchise friendly brand. So if someone have some problem, I step into their shoe and I feel how much impact is that problem is going to give them. So I'll try to sort out that problem in whatever way possible, and I'll try to help them out in increasing the business and increasing their profitability. And first of all, what happens is like other brands says that interiors need to be done by us, machinery need to be procured by us, and they put some commissions in it. We say that interiors will be giving you the design, you can implement. I need the design to be implemented. So if you want us to implement, we'll implement, or else if you can implement, you can implement. And machinery, I'm not the manufacturer of that particular machinery. I will give you the specifications. You can procure it. If you want us to procure, this is a quotation, is what I say. So, and some people will come and ask, how is the brand? So what I say them is like, it's my brand. I'll say positive. You will not get a negative response from me. So go talk to the franchise owners. You'll get the exact review. Review is what I tell to the people whoever comes to me, and I'm very much confident that all my franchise owners are happy and they'll give them the positive responses, what I feel. So in that way, that helped us a lot in franchising and growing in this particular industry, in this franchising model.
Correct. And I've read somewhere that I think almost all your outlets are mostly franchise led. You only have around 2 to 3 owned outlets. So
yes, true.
Wonderful. And what do you think, Rahul, would be a minimum investment that one needs to make, especially to start a franchise? Franchising.
It usually be 16 to 18 lakhs, inclusive of machinery, interiors, franchise fee, everything is included in it. But depends on the location, it might come down.
Got it. And how does the average break-even point actually works for most of the franchising partners? How much time do you think?
We usually say that 16 to 18 months, but some stores got break-even within a year. And usually the franchise tenure is 5 years.
Right.
Yeah. And one more thing, good thing, what I do is like, I don't allow people to spend a lot on interiors, because we are not God. Like, if we say this is going to happen, and this location is a good location, this is going to happen. I cannot judge in that way. Like, 90%, 90 to 95% of the cases it is true, but there is a chance of 5% of failure. The thing might happen. So franchise owner should be risk-free. His investment should be a risk-free investment. So what I tell them is like, let's interior part, I'll put as minimal as possible. So once if that particular location is not working well, if they shift also, hardly they are going to lose 2 or 3 lakhs max. So they are taking a risk of only 2 or 3 lakhs. Even though investment is 16 to 18, but they're taking a risk of only 2 or 3 lakhs.
Right. Arun is actually asking if there's any royalty charges also.
Usually we charge 8% on store and 6% on online.
All right, got it. Arun, I hope this response this gives you the response to the question. Also, we were curious to understand that since you already started ice creams also around the pandemic, do you have other plans to also expand the menu? Currently, the menu is of course focusing a lot on milkshakes, which of course is your core product. But are you also planning to get into the food items or side dishes or something like that?
Yes, we are looking into explore multiple products to add to our menu, because once earlier we were very much strict that exclusive milkshake brand. In that way, we used to promote. Now, post COVID, so we are like we are doing R&D and multiple products to add to our menu. So R&D, we are still in R&D stage. So
Okay.
once after that is done, we are going to add to our menu.
Right. We have another question from Mr. Sunil Luhar. He says, what kind of packaging you use for various products on the menu, as there is a lot of plastic that is being used? How do you
Mm.
deal with it in terms of recycling and sustainability, which in these days is an integral part of any business? Are you
Yes.
planning to replace plastic in future? That's a great question. Would love to understand from you, Rahul.
We started that initiative. We slowly started using paper cups because we started with plastic cups. So, but still, replacing plastic immediately is a tough job. So, we are slowly, as of now, we are using 50% of paper cups and 50% of plastic cups, and slowly within 6 months down the line, we are planning to completely shift to paper cups and glass bottles as well. So for customers, we gave an option of taking it in a glass bottle as well.
I hope that gives you the answer, Mr. Sunil. Says thank you. Uh, Great. Rahul, also would love to understand that, since you have already seen this journey of starting a new brand, establishing it, taking it global, today a lot of young entrepreneurs are also planning to enter this space and, at least start with their own kitchen. And cloud kitchens is again another model that's been picking up really fast.
Mm.
People do feel that, that's a easier way to at least get into the business and try your hand and see how
True.
it works from there. What
Mm.
is your take on the cloud kitchen business model, and what's your reading on this business opportunity?
Mm. I feel I'm into cloud kitchen business as well. We have recently started a kitchen with 12 brands in it. And but coming to milkshakes part, I feel that, as I said, pre-COVID, we used to do 60% of our sales used to be walk-in customers.
Correct.
So having a shake inside our stores is like people used to enjoy it. So I think milkshakes business should be, to my knowledge, opening up a standalone store is better than a cloud kitchen. When coming to other cuisines, definitely opening up a big cloud kitchen and opening multiple brands makes sense, because coming to restaurant, opening a restaurant is very expensive. They have to spend a hell lot of money in it. So, and service part also, they have to spend a lot on service part. When coming to milkshakes part, hardly service part. Rental is the only thing which changes from cloud kitchen and standalone store for us, because even if it is a cloud kitchen, we have to hire 3 staff. Even it is a standalone store, we have to hire 3 staff, and power bill for both will be the same. The rental is the only thing which is different. It might be 20 to 30,000 different, but the business wise, in standalone store we make good number, and the profitability in standalone stores is also more. So definitely, if someone asks me for a milkshake business, standalone or cloud kitchen, I suggest them standalone. But if someone asks me for a restaurant, cloud kitchen or a standalone, I tell them, I suggest them go ahead with cloud kitchen.
Right, got it.
Yeah, yeah.
We have another question actually from Mr. Arun regarding the franchise part. He's saying that,
Hmm.
are we allowed to sell our own products from the franchise outlet?
No, as of now, no. But depends on the product. If it's not going to impact our brand, definitely we can look into it. As I said, it totally depends on the discussions whatever we have, and depends on the product. It varies from product to product. Yeah, but we can definitely look into it.
Right. Mukul has another question about the cloud kitchen brands that you mentioned. Are you franchising the 12 brands of the cloud kitchen that you just mentioned? And also, would be interesting if you can tell us more about those brands and what's the plan.
Actually, we are planning to start franchising. We started our cloud kitchen in Madhapur, Hyderabad. That is our first cloud kitchen. Recently, before a month, we started. Now we are planning to, in one kitchen with 6 staff, we can operate 12 brands, 12 different products. So that we're setting it up, and we are getting very good response for that particular product. Next question might be, what are the products in that 12 brands?
Exactly, that's
Might
the
be the next question. So we are coming up with biryanis, pizzas, burgers, shawarmas, rolls, wraps, and pastas, Chinese. So 12 different products in it. And sambar is a very famous dish in South India. So we are
Right.
coming up with a sambar segment brand as well, with which deals with non-veg and veg as well.
So, what's the timeline
So
that we can expect to hear the big news
now we
from?
are we are ready with that particular thing.
Ready with? All right.
Yeah, yeah, but the promotion's not yet started, but we are
Exactly.
planning
Yeah.
to start. I'm a bit busy with some other work, so
Right.
I couldn't start the promotion work for that particular thing. But now we are getting the franchise request for that as well. And now recently I have started a brand by name London Waffle Company. So as waffles are picking up in North, waffles
Yeah,
are a big trend nowadays, I guess. So in slowly it's picking up in South as well. So we started a brand by name London Waffle Company. So even that is into a standalone store model.
wonderful.
Mm.
We have another question from Arun. He's saying that what's the minimum square feet requirement for the franchise out?
It's the minimum of 300 or 300 SFT.
350.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
300, 350 is fine. Anything above 300 is fine.
Got it. We'll now come to another part of the discussion, which is a rapid fire round. We'd love to understand and know more about you and your tastes and preferences. So this is more like on the
Mm.
fun side, and then we'll
Mm.
open for an open Q&A from anybody. Because I'm glad that we have a lot of questions. I'm sure people would love to ask you questions,
Mhm.
offline as well.
Mhm.
So the rapid fire round is such round that I'll put a question to you, and
Mhm.
you have to answer whatever comes to your mind, and then in within 5 seconds. So,
Okay.
so we'll start with the first question. What's your favorite item from the makers of milkshake menu?
Strawberry flakes.
Strawberry flakes. All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite milkshake place apart from makers milkshake?
Tinseltown in UK.
Tilsontown in UK. Was that the
Mm.
inspiration?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Choose one of the two: milkshakes or ice cream.
Milkshakes.
Milkshakes. Uh, if you could have one thing for the rest of your life, what would that
Mm.
be?
I value a lot to people and relationship. I think people around me should be there with me till rest of my life is what I feel.
Nice. Which is the weirdest milkshake flavor that you have ever tried?
Eclair.
Eclair.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite kitchen gadget?
Blender.
Blender.
Yeah.
uh, and what would be your message for the restaurant industry in 2021?
Don't get disappointed, don't get nervous. Everything happens for the reason. It's like a lesson for us. We have to plan our investments, we have to plan our business model in such a way that whatever might be the risk comes also we have to sustain, because COVID taught us a lesson. Like, whoever used to do good number of orders and all this thing, good number, good value and profit also, they suffered a lot just within 2 or 3 months of this pandemic. Suffered a lot. So that shouldn't happen. We have to plan accordingly. Today COVID came, in future any problem might come in any other way. So we have to be prepared for the problems, and we have to safeguard ourselves. We have to plan our investments in such a way that it shouldn't impact for this type of problems. COVID is done, and everyone is out of it. So now people are ready to spend. So be brave, be strong enough, and all of us are going to be super cool. All these problems are passing clouds, and it will go. And COVID also came, it's going. So we have to be strong in the market, and definitely we are going, good old days are going to come. So don't worry. And my story is one good example that whenever I get a problem I feel in this way, because for example, my US visa, I got rejected thrice, 4 times I got rejected. Now I have a store in US, that itself. And there are a lot of problems. Whenever I get a problem, I used to feel that there is something better is going to happen. So let's go with that attitude. It's very easy to say, I can understand. It's very tough to handle, but that attitude itself is going to save us, is what I feel. Rather than getting
Nice.
disappointed and all these things, it's going to create more stress for us. So rather than that, let's go with a positive attitude and face it.
True.
And end of the day, we have to face it. That's the only option we are left with. So let's face with a positive attitude.
Absolutely. I think that's very helpful, and thank you so much for
Hmm.
those words of wisdom. We still are having questions. So Mukul is asking, how is Makers of Milkshake different from Keventers? How do you differentiate that yourself?
Mukul, I don't want to compare. I don't want to say negative about other brands, but quality wise and taste wise, it's totally different when compared to other brands. And coming to our flavors, as I said, if you like the flavor, you like our milkshake. So that base itself is different from when compared to other brands. So, and we ask customer, you want a thick shake or a normal shake, or is what we ask. So based on the customer, this thing we make our shake, and we make sure that customer is happy.
Your main core team is based in Hyderabad only, or do you have like a
Yes, we have team. We have few members who are working from Chennai, few members who are working from Bangalore, and most of our team is from Hyderabad. And one more point which I would like to add, my team helped me a lot in growing to this particular position, because my team is the face of the company. That is what I feel. Wherever I go, I cannot go talk to each and every customer. So always respect your team, and I strongly believe in value has a value only when its value is valued. So you have to give them utmost priority, because any company grows because of their team itself. So they put their effort, and my team, I have a wonderful team which supported me to grow to this position.
We got another question from Satish.
Mhm.
What's your marketing strategy? We have some time, Rahul, so if you can take this question, that would be wonderful.
I strongly believe in word of mouth. So that helped me. That is a major strategy which I use. Whoever trusts you and invests some money in your brand, make sure that they're happy and their investment is safe. So if you give that trust, then definitely they gives a positive energy, positive word of mouth to multiple people. That strategy worked out with me.
One more question. What's your best memory of Makers of Milkshake till date? So the Anshu is asking this question.
There are a lot of memories which I feel wow, but my one memory is when I got my US visa for business. So at that day I felt wow, because a lot of rejections, and finally I got a good visa for US has accepted me for as a business person. That is one good moment, and there are a lot of moments. And when a lot of people talk to my parents, my wife, and all these things, oh, your husband is from Makers of Milkshakes, he owns it. And when people go talk to my parents, that when they feel proud by seeing them, I feel proud, yes. And my brother, he stays in US. So my brother used to call me and say that I spoke to one of my friend today, and he knows about you. And when I told that Rahul is my brother, he said that is it. And he was shocked, and he surprisingly said, is it okay? So that type of responses when we get from customers, from people who are around me, whom I love the most, so that is one of the proud moment, is what I feel.
Got it. We're getting one more question. So the question is that, are you planning to introduce any new flavors?
Yes, definitely, we have to. Every 6 months we add new flavors.
Hmm.
We do R&D regularly. It is there. Our R&D team works on it.
Right. Got it. Another question is, when you reflect back, is there anything you could have done better in setting up Makers of Milkshake?
Yes. Now what I feel is, if I would like to add a lot of products to the menu, I'm not able to do that, because already we have set up an infrastructure wherein adding new machinery is not possible now. There's some more tweaks which need to be done. So that is what I feel. Earlier itself, if we would have added some products to the menu, that would have helped us.
Okay, there's one more
Sure.
question from VJ before we leave. Where can we see Makers of Milkshake in 2022?
Spreading our wings across India and to multiple countries, and at least reaching a target of more than 200 stores.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think we're almost done with all the questions.
Hmm.
Thank you so much again, Rahul, for your time. It was lovely talking to you, and I'm sure that
Same here.
we all are taking a lot of learnings from you.
Mhm.
And I think this was one of the most energetic sessions that we have hosted on FNB Talks. I can proudly say that the conversation was very deep, to the point, and we got a lot of insights from you. Thanks
My
a lot,
pleasure.
Rahul. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
very
being
much.
with us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
And yeah, we'll be in touch. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you
To
everyone
you
for
too.
joining us for the session.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.